Hey everyone! In today's video, we are sharing our port day in St. Maarten during our Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas cruise, and we are headed to the famous Maho Beach. Maho Beach in St. Maarten is famous for planes landing at the Princess Juliana Airport runway. We'll share information on the beach, how we got there, how much it costs, and if we think this place is worth checking out or not if your cruise stops in St. Maarten. Wonder of the Seas docks at the port of St. Maarten in Philipsburg. This port is able to host these giant super ships without needing a tender. The island of St. Maarten is located in the Caribbean. It's known for two nations on one island. Half of the island is part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands and half is part of France, so they'll often refer to the Dutch side and the French side. There are lots of shops and excursion opportunities you could book last minute at the port itself and water taxis to take you to other beaches, but we had our eye on visiting Maho Beach to see the planes land. So let's get into it.
Good morning. We are in St. Maarten.
Greg is getting his sunscreen on.
I'm lubing up.
It's a hot morning already. It's 10 a.m. local, 9 a.m. ship time. Always go by ship time.
Look at the yachts.
Yeah, there's a big yacht over
Goals.
there.
Life goals.
Life goals, yeah.
Did you know in Jurassic Park there is a yacht and the little girl got eaten?
That's nice, Gregory.
Because we were on a Jurassic Park.
Yes, he keeps calling this a Jurassic Park island, but he also called St. Thomas a Jurassic Park island. That's because all the beautiful green hills and mountains.
Jurassic Parky mountains. The water looks gorgeous. It's a beautiful day so far. They are calling for showers later, but hopefully those hold off. Welcome to St. Maarten. It is our first time
Here in St. Maarten, and we will take you along on our adventures today. You done lubing?
Are you filming me feeling myself up?
Look, a pterodactyl.
Told you.
It's a pterodactyl. We are in the Jurassic Islands.
You don't need to worry about towels, as you can use your SeaPass card to check out towels from the cruise directly, but if you forget to bring them back, you'll get charged $25. Getting off the ship, you'll need to remember to bring your Royal Caribbean SeaPass, which will be used as your ID to get back on later. How do you get to Maho Beach from the cruise port? Well, this one isn't in walking distance. We always recommend booking your excursions through Royal Caribbean directly, and on this trip we didn't. We're going to talk more about why we should have later in this video, but if you didn't book Maho Beach as a Royal Caribbean excursion, there are taxis available around the front of the port. A taxi costs about $15 to $20 per person round trip. They provided a bracelet to wear to show that we had already paid. If you look at a map of St. Maarten, you'll see there's really only one main road that goes around the island. The taxi drive itself should take about 25 minutes, but there was a traffic jam that ended up taking us about an hour to get there. We'll talk more about this on our way back to the port. When we arrived at Maho Beach, there's a beach bar area as you enter. They tell you to look for the lobster tank, and next to the lobster tank is a board with all of the flight arrival times, so you know when to look. Although you won't need to worry about that too much, as these planes certainly make themselves known. In between the larger international flights, there'll be lots of smaller private flights too that will fly overhead.
We'll find the lobster tank with the surfboard and the flight times. But we are at Maho Beach to see some planes. Maho. I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know.
There's a bar area that you can eat at, as well as some other smaller bars. There's also a pool area and some little shops that you can check out. How much does Maho Beach cost to get in? It's actually completely free. This is a really nice option compared to other beaches that you visit around cruise ports. However, if you want a beach chair, you do have to pay for these. The beach chairs cost $30 for 2 chairs. One thing to immediately warn you about this beach is that it's packed. This is a very popular tourist attraction, so there are people everywhere.
That's so intimidating. That's pretty neat.
The planes landing over top of you is intimidating at first. You can feel the sand blowing and hear the roar of the engines as they come in for their landing. It really is an incredible experience, and we got to see so many planes, and we were really only there for a couple of hours.
I feel like I got a duck.
That's kind of terrifying.
Right across the street from the beach is the Princess Juliana Airport we mentioned earlier, and if you're lucky you can also see planes take off from over there. But be very careful if you do this, as there are sandblast warnings everywhere. Besides being an incredibly busy beach, the water here was so much fun. As you can see, the waves are crazy. The waves were completely knocking people down left and right. They were so powerful. Needless to say, despite all the people, it was a really fun beach. Greg and I spent quite a bit of time in the water bobbing around while the planes flew over us.
Such a fun experience. Definitely a must-do at some point in your life.
When we were done at the beach, the taxis we came in were just right outside the beach bar areas where we came in. On the day we were in port, there was a massive traffic jam that affected the entire island. Because there's only one main road area that goes around the island, we had to take the long way back driving across the French side of the island since we were on the Dutch side. On this day, it had taken many people a couple of hours to get back to the ship, as they were either stuck in traffic or had to take the longer route. This is one of the reasons why it's safer to purchase your excursions through the cruise line, as if something happens and you don't make it back to the ship on time, Royal Caribbean is responsible for you in getting you back or to the next port. If you're on your own and you don't make it back, you're responsible for yourself. Luckily, we had left to go back to the ship with many hours to spare and had plenty of time, even though it took longer than expected to get back.
0 stars. The drive back was a rough one. We went all around the French side and it was very nauseating, windy roads, but we made it back to the pool. But there's a lot of traffic on this island, like an insane amount of traffic. Did you go to that beach again?
Oh, that's probably the best beach I've ever been to.
Me too. That was so cool. That was such a neat experience. But we're very sandy now. All showered off after our adventures in St. Martin.
Just in time for the play past the Dutchie.
Past the Dutchie. And we're matching both in lavender purple and sunburns. We're red and purple today.
Look at poor Greg's face.
For the final verdict, Maho Beach is very touristy and it's completely packed, but the planes flying overhead is such an amazing experience if you haven't been. And the waves were so much fun that we loved our experience at this beach from start to finish. It was even worth the crazy drive back. We think that if you have never been to St. Martin before, then Maho Beach is a great spot to check out. Thank you so much for watching our latest video. If you enjoyed this video, we would greatly appreciate if you would hit the like button and subscribe to follow along on our next adventure. We have an entire playlist on our channel of our cruise on Wonder of the Seas and our cruise on Harmony of the Seas. Or if you enjoy Disney, theme parks, food, and travel, check out our channel. Thanks for watching.